let's build on that thought because this is a Tech Today AI special. If you're talking about ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT? The answer you get is ChatGPT is an AI chatbot created by OpenAI, a startup which was funded initially by Elon Musk and now, of course, is heavily funded by Microsoft. And it was trained on a massive data set of text to generate human-like responses to prompts. ChatGPT was released in November 2022. And ever since then, we've gone crazy experimenting with it, but it requires you to have an account. Then, of course, now that they've shut access to it, you also have to go onto the website, then type stuff over there. And sometimes a lot of those answers turned out to be dated because their databases seem to be maybe a bit antiquated, maybe a bit dated. So you got 2021 or responses until 2022 on that chatbot. That might have been ChatGPT version 3, which is running now. What if I told you that they've souped it up and now put it in Bing, which is the default search engine on Microsoft's Internet Explorer, or what we like to call Edge. We have access to that, and let's get right to it. Just to tell you how this could be a game changer for Microsoft, and more importantly, a game changer for you and me and for humanity at large, because we tend to use Google to search for things. So just to put things into context, if you wanted to find out how Google works maybe a decade ago or maybe a couple of decades ago, you'd go to a library, find an encyclopedia. If that doesn't answer your question, then you'd find this book, How Google Works, written by Eric Schmidt and Jonathan Rosenberg. After reading 250, 260 pages, you would hope that you'd get an answer as to how the search giant actually works. If you ask ChatGPT on Bing the same very question, all you have to do is go on Microsoft Edge right here, and just like the normal search tab over here, we type how Google works, but instead of the normal search option, which works a lot like Google search, you hit this new chat button, which will be available to you guys very soon. And it gives you this lovely homepage saying, welcome to the new Bing, your AI-powered answer engine. And in a matter of seconds, it's already generated how Google is a search engine that processes websites into search results. It uses crawling, indexing, and ranking. What if we wanted to ask it the most common question at this FIFA World Cup, which is, who is the GOAT? For those of you watching, greatest of all time, Messi or Ronaldo? Right? A lot of y'all are going to be divided on this one. As a football fanatic, I have a particular answer, but how does ChatGPT analyze it? Is it just going to be a run-of-the-mill response or a link like Google gives me a random link? Or is it going to be, in a matter of seconds, a proper analysis? First, it's told me GOAT stands for greatest of all time, and then it tells me that Messi and Ronaldo are two of the most famous soccer players in history. It goes down to give you stats about how someone has played in the La Liga, someone's played in the Premier League, and they're talking about how Messi could be better than Ronaldo, but it's also telling you that Ronaldo has more international success than Messi, but they're also talking about how he's won Euro 2016 with Portugal. Strangely, and this seems to be a small kink right here, it's not talking about Messi winning the World Cup. So maybe the kind of information it's pulling is a bit dated, and this will get better with time. Strangely, when it is talking about Messi versus Ronaldo, and each time I've asked this question, it's given me different responses. But it also then gives you a follow-up question saying, do I think Messi is better? Do I think Ronaldo is better? Or do I like them both? Let's be honest, I like them both. They're both great players, both in their own league and genuinely the greatest of all time. Now, if I keep prodding it on, because Microsoft's had so many responses coming to this Bing search engine, they have restricted some of them. So it will tell me saying, look, I'm done chatting with this. It's given me weird responses in the past couple of days. I'm done chatting. I will not indulge with you further in this conversation because of some of, maybe because of the fact that they've received some of these answers in its beta form have been curtailed, and rightfully so. But now let's ask it something a little bit more flavorful. I really like pav bhaji, and I think you get the best pav bhaji here in Mumbai. So let's ask it a question. But before we do, let's ask Google. So I'm switching over to Google and saying, I want to eat pav bhaji, right? Now there you get places with Google Maps, which is one of their strongest products. And right on top is one of the better ones in Mumbai, Sardar Pav Bhaji, if you're okay with the calories. And then you get a Quora link, and look, this is a sort of hybrid when you're talking about the future with what ChatGPT can do and how we used to search in yellow pages or old books and stuff like that. This is a hybrid what we have, a stepping stone what we have with Google with the AI capabilities of ChatGPT. Let's ask it the same question. I want to eat pav bhaji, right? It knows with its GPS data that I'm here in Mumbai at this point, at least for now, unless ChatGPT sends me somewhere else. But I've asked it the same question, practically the same question. I want to eat pav bhaji. So here's what ChatGPT has done. It's given me a personalized response, and it says pav bhaji is a delicious Indian dish that consists of this recipe. It originated in Mumbai as street food. Okay, since we're caught up in shoots and we don't have time to think about our calories, I've asked it to order pav bhaji for me online and says, here are some options depending on your location, budget and preference. Google gave you Sardar Pav Bhaji right on top. Over here though, it says they are famous for their street style pav bhaji cooked on a charcoal fire with Amul butter and cheese. That's the closest that it comes to the response that I was expecting. And I think that's the difference. A small upgrade. Just think about how the user experience changes. One just gave you a list and then let you do what you wanted to. Here it gives you so much more data and then really relies on you to select what you want from that data. So it's a minor tweak in terms of how the information is laid out to you, but what you do with that information could decide how most of us behave, how we react, and how this can help with our workflow. Now, there's two sides to the argument. One side of the debate is that tools like ChatGPT will lead to plagiarism, there will be security risks, and they'll make us a lot lazier. The other side talks about how, with the massive amount of data being presented to you in a far more articulate format and a more interactive, engaging format, which will eventually be augmented. You'll see this in video, you'll see this in image, you'll see this in podcast, all sorts of information coming your way. And so big tech can really address and mitigate some of the concerns surrounding AI and chatbots like this, which can be a double-edged sword. Are there security concerns that need to be addressed? Are there privacy concerns? Can this be a double-edged sword? Let's speak to an expert and find out what's up with AI and what can we do to ensure that this is safe and secure as a user experience. Hi Candid, what a pleasure to have you on Tech Today. Now, as an ace cybersecurity expert, do you think that tools like ChatGPT, whilst they are very useful if used in the right way, can also prove to be a risk, especially when it comes to security?
Some of the main risks with ChatGPT are privacy and trust. Because anything that a user enters into ChatGPT will be used for future training sets. So if, for example, you enter your password, some source code, or maybe the Aadhaar number, then this could come up as an answer for someone else in the future. And you probably don't really want that. Also, keep in mind that the answers are not always 100% accurate. So if you blindly trust them, you might still fall into a trap. And unfortunately as well, ChatGPT can be used for cybercriminals to make their attacks more efficient, like creating phishing emails or malware.
Thanks so much for being so candid and sharing some of these perspectives. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on Tech Today.